I first learned about AfriCOBRA. I was doing my undergraduate at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and the late Jeff Johnson was a graduate of the school. And he would come back to Arkansas to actually do a series of lectures on AfriCOBRA and what they were doing. Jeff knew of my work, but he didn't know what I was doing at that time because I had left graduate school, I had moved to Atlanta. And I never shall forget that Dr. Murray DePillis wrote me a letter, and he called me. We talked for a minute and said, "Look, man, we need to have you in the group. I mean, we would love to have you." And I was excited because, you know, reading about AfriCOBRA, reading about their aesthetics, and these are a bunch of smart individuals. It's incredible for me. I think I'm the youngest in the group, but I have a ball. I have a ball. The work in the show is from a series I call my Blanket series. And I was in Denver in 2004. I was accepting the National Art Educators Award for being National Secondary Art Educator of the Year for the Southeastern region. And I saw a tapestry show, which was wonderful. But I have to go back and talk about the concept behind my work. You see the necktie shapes, and you see the scarf shapes. The necktie shapes, I always say my work is about 5 different issues. Number 1, a story that my grandfather told me. Number 2, 2 and 3, there are 2 events that changed our lives forever. There's September 11th and Hurricane Katrina. Then number 4, the relationship between sight, sound, and color. In the Blanket series, you're gonna see the necktie shapes hanging down. When I say a story that my grandfather told me, when I graduated from high school, I didn't want to go and register to vote. My grandfather owned a lot of property in rural Arkansas, so he kneeled down with his cane, drew me a map in the sand, and told me to go stand beside this tree. I did that, and I came back, and he told me African Americans have been lynched by their neckties on their way to vote. So the tie shape constantly appear in my work. The rod symbolized the cane that he drew in the sand with, okay? And in 1995, I started using the scarf shapes. I was doing a visiting artist in Iowa, and I was teaching a group of boys and girls from the Des Moines Arts Center. Asked them to name me one major African-American female who had made major contribution to America. Only one that they could name was Oprah Winfrey. So I had them to do research on Catherine Dunn and Billie Holiday. So the scarf shapes started to represent the women. September 11th, I was supposed to be in New York with Eric Mack. I didn't go. So Eric Mack and Bill Stevens sent me a photograph of a little kid holding a piece of steel and a piece of tar paper. So I started working on aluminum and tar paper. And that was my protest against September 11th. So the pieces you got is pieces in the show. There's one out of aluminum and there's one and there's one out of wood. When you talk about wood, I feel like the medium is important because African Americans, they were lynched on a tree, the wood from the tree. So the Blanket series, each one is folded the same way. You know, each one of the pieces of wood are folded delicately. When you think about blankets, you think about common everyday people who work, you know, housekeepers. Everything is folded and stacked on top of each other.